So our agenda this evening, welcome and introductions. That's what I'm doing right now. The presentation and program overview by Anna, and then program advising with Maggie. And then finally, we'll have some time for reading some of those Q&As out and hopefully answering some, if not all, of your questions. So at this point, I'm going to attempt to play this video.
Hi, I'm back to check on your blood glucose levels. Being in the clinical setting really puts my skills into practice. I love that I get to apply what I learned right into the clinical setting with actual patients. Clinical experience really consolidates what we learn in terms of knowledge in our theory courses. So I chose BCIT nursing because of the reputation it's built within the healthcare practice. And I wanted to show you about my patient. Right? I love that I get to collaborate with my student nurses and really get the hands-on experience that you normally wouldn't get at other institutions.
Okay, very good. Now make sure that you put that cup.
The BCIT BSN program is a 3-year program where we give students the training and experience to practice as registered nurses across BC.
The patient's pupils and look quite...
From the very beginning of our program, students will get hands-on experience in the lab and in the simulation room.
Excellent, good placement.
This is really beneficial for students as it provides students with a safe environment to practice newly learned skills before applying it to patients in the practice setting. We are very excited here at BCIT to offer a brand new curriculum that was written in-house where students learn concepts that they will be able to apply to different contexts. Rather than learning just about diabetes, they learn about the concepts around diabetes and are able to apply it.
You can see there that it's...
When our students graduate, they are 100% prepared to practice in acute care settings, in clinics, and other healthcare settings across the province. Our grads are highly sought after by our health authority partners. There is ample opportunity for them to explore whatever avenue they choose.
The best thing about my clinical experience so far is how approachable and how really caring my instructors are. They really make sure that not only are we comfortable in what we're doing, but that the patients are safe under our care as well.
As we're just getting started, I'll just introduce myself. Is that okay, Erin?
Please, because that's the next slide that we're doing.
Okay. So hi, everybody. My name is Anna Jellick. I'm one of the program heads here at BCIT. And I am so excited to be here and share the BCIT nursing program with you. After seeing that video, I'm actually very proud of, I'm getting goosebumps because I'm very proud of where I work. So I hope to see some of you guys here in the future. We're just gonna wait a quick second for Erin to put the PowerPoints up, but I just want to reiterate some of the points that we might have seen in the video. So the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So when you graduate from BCIT, you'll end up with a bachelor with a BSN, which is a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So once you finish your licensing exam called the NCLEX, you'll be able to work within Canada. You'll be fully qualified. As Connie said in the video, she's one of our colleagues. So it is a 3-year full-time program. Oh, I'll just get you to move forward there, Erin. Sorry, next slide. So there we go. Thank you. It is a 3-year full-time program. So there are 9 terms, 3 terms per year. So that's 3 12-week terms. You do get a longer break in the summer with most of the July and all of August off. And then you get sometime around Christmas. And there's a 2-week period between the the winter and spring terms. One of the great things about BCIT, it is a mix of classroom, lab, and clinical in every term. So in term 1, there is a clinical placement. And as the terms progress, you'll find that there's less and less theory and more clinical. So by the end, you end up in a preceptorship. there's also a variety of clinical experiences that you get access to. So all the way from acute medical to home care, public health, OB, peds, mental health. So will get experience to a variety of different settings. And of course, what makes BCIT extra unique is the fact that we have a specialty nursing stream. So there are, in the later term, you will be able to take a few of have the ability to take a couple of the specialty nursing courses. Next slide, please, Erin. So what does a grad look like for BCIT? So they're very professional, as always. They're a leader, right? So as leaders, we have to show initiative and be self-directed. You're an advocate because we're often advocating for our patients, for our families, for the public health, for the public. We're collaborators. Often our job is always collaborating with different members of the healthcare team. So not just of other nurses, but with social workers, physios, depending on where you work. We're global citizens. We're lifelong learners. One of the best parts of being a nurse, just apologies for that, is the ability to be a lifelong learner. We don't ever stop learning and being effective communicators. And one of the other things we have to, what makes us a successful BSN student is that we manage stress and anxiety effectively. Nursing is a very rewarding job, but there are times of stress and anxiety. So there is an expectation that we learn how to handle and work through that. Effective communicators, leadership skills, enthusiasm for teamwork. We ask that you have an aptitude for math and sciences, and that's more in relation to medication. That's medication administration is the math part. We have sciences woven throughout the program. And lastly, resilience. Next slides, please, Erin. So what is the career outlook? It is a challenging and rewarding career. Nurses are in demand worldwide, and you can, as a BCIT nurse, work globally. One of my favorite experiences as a nurse is the opportunity to work abroad, and I worked in Australia for a year, and I got to say it's still probably one of my favorite years ever. So, there's a lot of perks to being a registered nurse. You can also move on from You can also develop professionally and continue to grow and continue with one of the specialty nursing options that you started within the program. And there's other career growth opportunities, such as getting your master's degree or your PhD and other certifications if you like. Next slide, please, Erin. So these are a few examples of what a nurse can do. And this is not all inclusive. So a medical surgical nursing is probably what you're most familiar with in terms of maybe your family and friends, or maybe what you see on TV. But, you would have been exposed to public health or kind of in a sense of what public health nursing is with in the last few years with the pandemic. If you've gone and gotten your vaccine shots, it would have been with a public health nurse. You can also work in home care, emergency critical care, mental health, and global health. And then you can also continue to go on to administration as a nurse management, teaching, which is what we do, and research. Again, this is not an all-inclusive list. There are many opportunities within nursing. Thank you. Erin, next slide. So I mentioned earlier that one of the benefits of coming to BCIT to get your nursing degree is the introduction to a specialty nursing program, because BCIT offers a few of them within the actual BSN program. And some of those are listed below, you'll see there. And so you would get that opportunity, but there's other specialties that you can continue to get if you want outside once you graduate as a registered nurse. And those are the lists there. Next slide, please, Erin. So this is a testimonial from one of our recent grads who actually was a student during the pandemic. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to read this testimonial to you. So we feel that it really captures what it's like to be a nurse and the experience and the that BCIT can help prepare, can help support you in becoming a nurse. So it took some time for me to decide if nursing was the right fit for me, but I'm so happy about my decision. Nurses make such a difference in people's lives and have been able to witness the difference they make firsthand throughout this pandemic. Nurses are out there saving lives, fighting this virus, and keeping us all safe. I feel really inspired to help make a difference and validated in my decision to pursue a career in nursing. My experiences in the BSN program at BCIT have prepared me to work when I graduate and to tackle unexpected challenges that will surely come my way. I feel confident that the skills and knowledge I've acquired during my time at BCIT will serve me well when I leave. So next slide, Erin. So the next, oh, sorry, before you introduce, so we'll get on to the admissions, but I just want to leave you with what I like to say to my students when I first get them, because I've often worked on early in the program. I feel very honored to have chosen to become a nurse. It's provided me so many opportunities professionally. It's given me an opportunity to work in so many different areas and, you know, have different experiences. And, you know, I feel very lucky to have made that choice, and I would encourage anybody who who's decided to take a closer look to look at as a career, because it provides a lot of professional and personal growth. So I just wanted to say thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the QA while Maggie starts talking about the admission process.
Hi there. Yeah, Erin, do you mind
Yes.
me able to, so I can share my screen if that's all right with you?
Yep. If I stop, you should be able to.
Oh, I should be able to? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Stop.
No, okay, perfect. Okay,
Good.
it's all good? Okay,
Yep.
great. So let me just, oh, sorry about that. I'm not sure what, oh, give me a second here. For some reason, my notes aren't showing up. Just one sec. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I do apologize. So thanks so much, everyone. So I'll now be reviewing with you the entrance requirements and admissions process, along with briefly discussing some key student services that are available to you at BCIT. So the BSN program at BCIT has 3 intakes a year, one in September, one in January, and one in April. There are 96 seats available for each intake. The date that you apply to the program does not have an impact on your application. So for example, if you apply for the September intake on February 1st, you'll be considered and assessed the same as someone who applies on March 15th. And you do have until the application deadline date to apply. However, please don't wait until the very last day to apply. So for the application steps, the online application process is relatively straightforward. Once the application opens for each cycle, you can log in and review the online application. You can work on filling out the application at your own pace. It does not go to BCIT admissions department until you pay the application fee. The date you apply does not have an impact on your application. So you do have until the application deadline date to submit your application. You will firstly need to review all of the entrance requirements and the application processing dates. You will then need to upgrade if necessary. BCIT does offer upgrading courses in many of these subjects, and we in program advising can assist you with researching course upgrading options if that's necessary for you. Ensure that when you apply online that you have all of your required documents such as transcripts ready to scan and upload as PDF files. www.bcit.ca/admission will guide you through the step-by-step application process. Once you're ready to apply online, you can visit www.bcit.ca/apply, and the application fee for domestic students is $90 Canadian. So the application process does take place entirely online. Therefore, you will need to convert your official transcripts and any additional documents that may be required into PDF files. So let's discuss the requirements. So the academic entrance requirements for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program are as follows. 2 years of education in English in an English-speaking country, and this refers to the speaking and listening component of English. And BCIT does offer assessment testing and courses for speaking and listening. Then pre-calculus 11 or 12, or foundations of math 11 or 12, as noted on the slide there. Additionally, chemistry 11. However, chemistry 12 can be used in place of chemistry 11, provided that a grade of 73% or greater has been earned. And just to note, chemistry and math are the only high school level requirements for this program. But post-secondary subjects can be used potentially in place of these high school requirement courses. The next set of requirements are the 18 credits of academic foundations, and these are post-secondary level courses. So the courses are ENGL 1177, BHSC 1200, PSYC 1101, which is a psychology course, and 6 credits of general education electives. So as stated before, you can complete these courses at BCIT or at other recognized post-secondary institutions. And just to note, there is an equivalency guide for these courses on the BSN entrance requirements page. And potentially out of province or international courses can be used to meet these requirements. And an ICES evaluation, which is an International Credential Evaluation Services report, is not necessarily required unless you want to use your international post-secondary courses to meet the academic foundations requirements. So now the non-academic requirements. Firstly is the mandatory applicant questionnaire. So from the website, do ensure that you type directly into this form and do not cut and paste from other documents. The boxes in this form cannot be expanded or enlarged. So for the form, try to be as detailed yet concise as possible when filling out the form. Secondly is the Casper test. This is an online test. This test will utilize everyday scenarios. So a moral dilemma will be presented to the test taker, and there is essentially no right or wrong answer. So you cannot really study for the test, as this is not a knowledge-based test. However, there is a full 12-section Casper sample test available online. You will need to have registered for a Casper account to access this sample test, and it is free of charge to register on Casper's website and check out these practice tests. So there is a lot of information on the Casper site to help you prepare for the exam, so please do spend time reviewing this information. The Casper snapshot is a short one-way video interview. It is made up of 3 interview-style questions with 2 minutes to respond to each question. So additional information regarding the Casper snapshot and the Casper test itself are available on Casper's website. So preference for admission to the BSN program is given to applicants with academic grades above the minimum and who have completed additional post-secondary academic courses. You can choose courses that you feel would be of most benefit to you. So if you have met all of the entrance requirements as indicated, please do feel free to submit an application online. So regarding the transcripts and document submission, as mentioned, as part of the online application, you will need to upload your documents in order for a timely assessment to be completed. You can download your official digital documents, or you can convert your transcripts and documents to PDF files. Information on how to convert documents to PDF files is available on our website. For example, you can scan or take pictures of your official transcripts and save them as PDF files. And do please ensure that you upload all required documents to minimize delays in application processing. And if you're a BCIT student and have done your upgrading at BCIT, you are not required to submit your official BCIT transcripts, as our admissions department will be able to access your transcripts directly. So again, the admissions process, you must upload PDFs of your official transcripts. After you apply, your application will be reviewed by the admissions department to ensure that you fulfill all of the academic entrance requirements, and this process can take up to 4 weeks. So if you do meet those requirements, your application is then forwarded on to the nursing department for further review. The nursing program area does use a rubric to shortlist the strongest candidates, and a final decision is made based on all of the documents and tests that you have submitted. The assessment process in the nursing department can take approximately 1 to 2 months. So if you do have any specific questions regarding this process, please give us a call or send us an email. So now moving on from academics, I would like to let you know that BCIT is committed to supporting students in a holistic sense. We want you to succeed not only in your academics, but also outside of school. Some of the student services are available to you as a prospective student, and others will be available to you once you become an enrolled student. And here are some other important student supports that I'd like to mention. If you are Indigenous, BCIT's Indigenous Initiatives Department is there for you to ensure a smooth transition into your first year. They offer peer-to-peer mentorship, a welcoming gathering place, and will provide clarification on Indigenous funding. BCIT's awards, scholarships, and bursaries are listed on our Financial Aid and Awards webpage. I would also like to mention that we have a President's Entrance Award. Selection for this award is based on academic achievement, but also on volunteer and community service. So if you have some questions regarding this, please contact Financial Aid directly for more information. BCIT is committed to providing assistance to students with permanent or temporary disabilities. If you have been accepted to a program and believe you may need accommodation to be successful, I definitely encourage you to contact and connect with our Accessibility Services Department. BCIT's Student Health Services is a health clinic located at the Burnaby campus. They provide medical care for current BCIT students year-round. And we also have a counseling and student development department available to help you enhance your educational performance and maximize your success as a student at BCIT. And lastly, our recreation services promotes, encourages, and enables the practice of physical well-being. We consider recreation an integral part of campus life and welcome all students to enjoy their services. So this slide is about my department, program advising. So don't hesitate to contact us if you have a question or are unsure of something. We are able to answer questions regarding entrance requirements, the application process, student resources, success strategies, program schedules, and many other details as well. We are available to assist you by telephone, by email, or by in-person or virtual drop-in advising sessions. Please go to our webpage, bcit.ca/advising, for our most up-to-date contact information and service hours. And if your inquiry is time sensitive, please do call us during our telephone advising hours. This is the best option to get your questions answered quickly. So I highly encourage you to start following BCIT Health Sciences on the social media platforms listed here: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. This is your opportunity to learn more about BCIT and your field of interest at your leisure. There are great stories from current students and past graduates, which are regularly being shared and posted. And these platforms will assist you in making a well-informed decision about the career that you choose and the program that you choose. So if you have an inquiry that you'd like to discuss in further detail, please do feel free to send us an email at program_advising@bcit.ca. So now I will pass it back to Erin for the Q&A component.
Thank you, Maggie. And I'm going to keep that.
That slide up.
Slide up. Actually, going through them again. I'm just going to keep this one up because this is the one where people will want to keep that email address in mind. Now, I really appreciate all the great questions we've been having coming through in the Q&A. I've been monitoring it and watching how it goes. I know we did go through a lot of that information rather quickly, and I know some of you were probably typing your Q&A questions while we were speaking and maybe kind of missed something we said. So again, we will be sending out a copy of this slide deck and a recording of this session to you via the email address you used to sign up for this session in about a week's time. But for now, I'm going to put probably Dina and Anna on the spot, maybe Maggie too, and ask you guys some, find some of the kind of commonly asked questions. Now, I saw one that was kind of repeated a few times. People were asking So this program's not for right out of high school. That's true. You can't apply right out of high school to nursing at BCIT. However, unlike some of the other schools, we don't offer a kind of a pre-nursing program or a prep program. We merely have a list of prerequisites and a number of credits. That's listed on our program web page, and Maggie did go over that in one of the slides. I wonder if Maggie has anything to add to that, or anybody else on here?
Yeah, I can just add. So basically, as you mentioned, Erin, and as I addressed in my presentation, my portion of the presentation, yes, you can't apply directly out of high school because the program does require a minimum of 18 post-secondary credits. So those requirements rather can be viewed on the Bachelor of Science in Nursing entrance requirements page. So when you go to that landing page on the left, there's a link that says entrance requirements, and you can just check out the courses and requirements there. So as I mentioned, just chemistry and math are the high school, and then the remaining are post-secondary, so university, college, etc. courses that you'll need, and you can upgrade the majority of those if you wish at BCIT or at any other recognized post-secondary institution, like UBC, SFU, Langara, Kwantlen, et cetera. So yeah, that will have to be done prior to applying to the program.
Yeah, and that's an important thing that you just said too, Maggie, that I wanted to really point out to everybody. If you don't have those prerequisites yet, you can do them at any recognized post-secondary in BC. You're welcome to do that at the one closest to your house or easiest for you to get to. Definitely do not have to try and do those at BCIT, because oftentimes those courses are a bit harder to get into at BCIT because they fill up kind of quickly. So if you want to get those at Kwantlen, Langara, wherever suits you, whatever's nearby your place, that's totally okay. We do not give preference to people who do them at BCIT. Okay, lots of questions I'm scrolling through now. I've had a few people ask this question. I see Dina's answered it, but can you apply to the program while currently taking the prerequisites? Maggie, do you want to answer that one too?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just typing another answer. Yeah, absolutely.
You were the one that looked like you were.
Sorry, I was just typing into someone else's. So sorry, the question was, can you apply
to the program while taking the prerequisites?
No, so you do have the only two that you can have potentially midterm grades for are the high school requirements of math and chemistry. So the 18 credits of the academic foundations, the post-secondary credits, only final grades are accepted for those. Okay. So you do have to have a final grade showing on your transcript, but the chemistry and math, the high school potentially can have midterm grades.
Okay, there's another question here that I've chosen to click answer live on. So I'm going to ask Maggie this one as well. How recent do my prerequisites need to be for eligibility?
Oh yeah, that's a really good question.
Anatomy, physiology, and psychology.
Right, okay. So the only course that really has that recency that you're referring to would be the Human Anatomy and Physiology, which is the BHSC 1200. That one must be completed within the past 3 years, and that's 3 years is counted from the year in which the program begins, is what admissions has told me in the past. So that is the only one rather with that recency. The other ones don't technically have a recency, so they could be really done within any time frame. However, I mean, if it's ideally, within the last 5 to 10 years, you would say, something like that. And you don't want anything maybe too old on the transcript, but technically there's no other recency besides the Human Anatomy and Physiology course.
Okay, thank you. And Dina, maybe you could answer this one because I've seen it come up more than once. If Dina is able to. If you were accepted, oh no, that's not what I'm looking at. Do you need to have any medical experience or background in healthcare to apply? Dina?
Hi, Erin. No, you do not. Healthcare experience or volunteer experience is not an entrance requirement. It's not required. And healthcare-related work experience is worth a small portion of the competitive scoring. But the main components we are looking at is your post-secondary education, your GPA, your CASPER score, and your snapshot video. Those are the main items scored on the ranking.
Okay, thank you, Dina. I'll let you get back to typing, Dina, because I know you're typing a bunch of answers right now. Michael is asking a question I think I can answer. Michael Burns, thank you. You're asking, is the BC transfer guide accurate when looking at equivalent courses at other institutions? Yes, the BC transfer guide is the most accurate source that I know of. That you can look at online, and we're always referring people to that. So yes, you can check the BC transfer guide when looking for equivalent courses. If you're in doubt, if you just want to double check, you can definitely contact program advising at BCIT just to make sure. But they're a good start.
Can I add to that, Erin?
Yes.
If you're looking for equivalent courses for the prerequisites, if you look on our website under equivalent courses, that link, it'll tell you what courses at Douglas we accept, and every institute in BC. So if you look up Douglas, Angara, BCC, it'll tell you the course numbers of the courses we will accept that are equivalent to ours. That's the easiest way to do it.
Wonderful. Work is done for you. Both Maggie and Dina are furiously typing, so I don't really want to interrupt them with too many questions. But I also don't want to end us off because there's so many good questions still coming in. Anna, do you have anything you'd just like to add about how wonderful nursing is? How you do it all again if you could?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said earlier in the presentation, it's a choice I haven't regret made, and it's, you know, it's helped me, how can I say, it's provided me a lot of opportunity, and I've worked in a lot of different areas and met a lot of great people. And I just feel like every year, every time I made a change, it's always been a positive situation. So I would highly recommend for anybody to become a nurse. And, you know, and like I wanted to say, like what that list in terms of what a nursing can do is not an all-inclusive. It wasn't until I actually finished nursing that I realized all the different opportunities that there are there for us. I mean, I've met nurses that work in the private healthcare business sector as consultants, which is kind of interesting because you wouldn't think of that. So there is so much opportunity. It's like you can do a career change within a specific profession. You have the opportunity to meet great people. You get the opportunity to work in a team, and if I've always been pretty social and team oriented. So I love working with people. So so that's also a really benefit from mine. I just want to tell everybody too that I'm actually a graduate from BCIT. 20 years ago, I graduated with a diploma, and I'm so proud to be back here as a program head. And I now have students that I taught that are now colleagues of mine. And that could be what some of you guys, if you're interested in coming to BCIT as a student. So like I said, you just never know where life will take you with this profession, just so much opportunity. I wish I could help you guys answer. Oh, sorry.
No, and I love that because it's true. I mean, even in the years I've been working with the nursing program and other health programs at BCIT, so many of our faculty are previous grads. People really, once they come to BCIT, they seem to have a lifelong commitment to this place, and it's just like a really neat family feeling about that, where people will come back to work later on and then change back to different careers and kind of keep in touch that way and keep connected. Also makes me feel old.
Sorry. Yeah, that too, for sure. And I also just want to emphasize that the faculty are incredible. They're very student oriented and student centered. So they're very focused on ensuring student success. So you know, so there's lots of resources and supports in place for students to be successful with the program. And if there is, opportunity to access those resources are readily available to students. So I just wanted to highlight the faculty, which are incredible and great to work with. And as Connie mentioned in the video, we do have a curriculum that, well, I want to say recent, but it's not recent, but that a curriculum that has developed to be a conceptual curriculum. And a conceptual curriculum will help us. It was developed to help students learn with healthcare, things are always changing. So when we take a more conceptual learning approach to learning, it's easier us to adapt to new things because we're able to apply general principles. So that's definitely another strength of the program.
I've just got somebody here. Candace is asking me to show the slide again with the intake date info. And I think there's a few slides that I probably might want to show again. So the intake date info, I think this is the one Candace was talking about. So we have 3 start dates, September, January, and April, and the application periods are listed on your screen there. So you know when to apply for each of the 3 intakes.
For anybody who doesn't have related healthcare or volunteer experience, please don't be discouraged and not apply. Yes, you know, it is helpful to have. So once you start the program, you might be more comfortable, but it doesn't really, it doesn't mean anything. Like I would encourage everyone to apply regardless of that. It's not an indication of how successful you're going to be as a nurse or within the program. So please don't let that be something to hold you back.
Anna, I do have a question that you can probably answer. This person is asking, was the nursing program challenging study-wise?
I'm biased. I would say that most students will tell you that it was challenging in regards, it's a lot of work. And it is a different way of thinking because it's very application focused, the smaller classes and some of the universities that most students come from. And I think it's that whole critical thinking and application focus, that whole different way of applying the theory is probably what most people find challenging, but yet enjoyable because it's kind of like that real life experience. You're applying it directly to your clinical experience and to patients right away. I don't know if that answers the question. I'd say it is, you know, you're going to have to work. But anything worth having is always going to be a lot of work. So that's what I'll say.
Okay. Another one that I saw that I thought you might want to answer.
Why would you choose?
Why would somebody choose BCIT over other programs like Douglas, UBC, and Langara?
That is a great question, and I am not. I want to say, you know, all the nursing schools in BC are accredited need to be accredited to function. So every nursing school is going to meet qualifications, and they're all great. BCIT is unique in that it is industry driven. We work very closely with the industry and industry partners to make sure that our curriculum and our nurses are trained for what is happening in the healthcare system now. So we're constantly communicating and collaborating with them. Another benefit of choosing BCIT over the others is the introduction to the specialty program. So you can actually graduate the BSN program with already an introduction into 2 courses of a specialty under your belt. For example, high acuity, pediatrics. So that's already a step further, a step closer to getting a specialty if there's a certain specialty you want to work in, i.e. emerge, peds, that kind of thing. The BCIT is also currently working on different kinds of projects that are available to students. So now we have learning pathways that are kind of partnering with different health authorities. So students, for example, who want to specialize in emerge can get their preceptorship in emerge and then kind of get a job as an ESN with an emerge department so that they can transition a little bit more smoothly into the healthcare system once they graduate. And I've already talked about how wonderful the faculty are, where professional development is a huge focus for us. So we are very student-centered, and a part of that student-centered is ensuring that we're constantly developing professionally, you know, updating our courses, updating our knowledge and skills as we go along.
Anna, I have
sorry.
someone specifically asking, do you enjoy nursing? This person's heard many horror stories, and I know there's been some negative press through COVID, but do you enjoy nursing?
I enjoy, I'm not going, I love nursing. I enjoy it. I don't regret anything. I'm not going to deny that there are moments that there's challenges and struggles like in any profession, but I love nursing. I enjoy it. And I find that every year I've worked, every year that I work as a nurse, I enjoy much more than the previous year. What I would say to people, it's really difficult the last few years. With the pandemic, there's been a little bit of negativity in the press and social media, but I want to encourage you guys to look at it from a different perspective. And that's probably just a small, tiny picture of what you might be seeing. I've been working in the clinical area with students the last week, and the last year, and what I've seen is a lot of teamwork, a lot of support, a lot of collaboration, a lot of compassion and patience and caring from as a nursing professional, and also from the patients and from the family. So yes, you might hear a little bit of negativity, you might hear a little horror story, but exponentially you'll also see a more positive side. And there are sad situations, but without going into too much detail and depth with that, I just want to encourage you guys to look at it from a bigger picture. What can you? Oh, sorry. I'm reading the questions for.
I'm gonna get you to answer. How did you decide that nursing was the right path for you? So thinking back, how did you initially decide that nursing was the right path for you?
Personally, my personal experience was I remember wanting to be a nurse for many, many years as I was a child and in high school. But when I graduated high school, I knew that there was much more. I know that there's a lot of more professional opportunities, and I just wanted to make sure that it was the right thing for me. So even though I knew I wanted to be a nurse, I actually went to SFU for a few years. Just to make sure, so I took a variety of courses, and while I was doing my degree at SFU, I'm like, no, I definitely want to do nursing. It didn't stop me. Fortunately, I took the right prerequisites and I applied to BCIT. And then I applied to BCIT, and at that time it was a diploma program because it was like over 20 years ago. And I haven't looked back. I went and got my diploma, then I went and worked in Australia for a year. Again, probably the best year of my life. It was lots of fun. I met tons of great people on those units, learned a lot, came back, finished my BCN. I got my BCN and then did my high acuity at BCIT, and somehow ended up back teaching here, which has been incredible for me.
So I'm gonna let Dina finish that up. But again, I just wanted to thank everyone for coming. Thank you for all of your great questions tonight. If we didn't get to anything, I'm going to move to that end slide again. The best thing to do is to email program_advising@bcit.ca. They know this program. They see all the applications that come in. They talk to everybody. They really know their stuff. So email them. Ask them whatever questions you have. If they can't answer it, they'll find someone who can. Really, we want to hear from you. We want you to not feel overwhelmed by all the information we've given you tonight. So if there's something that was confusing or something that we didn't answer properly, please do email us for more information. I just want to thank everyone that was on the call. Thank you, Anna, for sharing your experiences. Thank you, Maggie and Yuki and Dina, for all the questions you answered. I know Yuki and Dina are probably tired from all the typing they just did. So again, thank you very much. And I was going to hit stop recording here, and we will say good night to everybody. And again, I will make sure that a copy of this presentation is sent to you in about a week or so. Okay, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.